Hey guys, you're listening to the English Made Simple show. This is episode number 299, number 299, número 299. Welcome amigos y amigas. Welcome back. This is your host Milena speaking. You're tuning in to the English Made Simple show. You can learn more about the EMS show and what it is all about when you visit englishmadesimple.net. If you want to listen to the podcast straight from the website, simply type in englishmadesimple.net/podcast and you will be taken right to the podcast player. And while you're there, feel free to browse around, have a look around, and you'll find a huge repertoire of the EMS episodes as well as useful resources to help you accelerate your English learning. Thank you everybody for joining me today. Hope you had some time to listen to the last episode a few times. Hope you had time to listen to it many times over. I've now updated the interview with transcripts. So if you go to englishmadesimple.net/transcript, you can buy the full transcript of that interview in the last episode that I've done with Giovanna. You'll also get access to over 80 episodes and all of the transcripts for those 80 episodes. I keep adding to this document, the transcript document, so it's always up to date with the latest episodes. So go to englishmadesimple.net/transcript if you'd like to get a copy of the full interview transcript. By the way, I hope you enjoyed listening to that type of episode. It was a different style of the show. The last episode I did was an interview style. So I don't do these types of episodes often as it takes longer to edit, and for some reason I often encounter technical issues. Maybe because I need to update my podcasting equipment. I think it's time I upgrade. But the reason I wanted to bring Giovanna to the show was because I thought it would be an interesting conversation for you guys to hear. An interesting story that Giovanna shared. There was a lot of new vocabulary for you. If you're a business owner or planning to leave your full-time job and start your own business, like a side hustle, for example, you definitely benefit from listening to the last episode. So that was episode number 298, just before this one. So during the interview with Giovanna, she was talking, I was taking notes of some words that she was saying, some new words and phrases that popped up, which we haven't really covered in this show before. So maybe those words sounded a little bit foreign to you if you haven't heard of them before. Today I'm doing a follow-up episode to go through the following new words, okay? These words were mentioned in the last episode. So the word procurement, supply chain, raising funds, brainstorming ideas. These were brought up in the interview and I'd like to take this opportunity to clarify them for you. So, are you ready, amigos y amigas? Great, let's get cracking. Number 1, procurement and supply chain. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about what these words mean. What does the term procurement actually mean? The term procurement means ways of obtaining supplies, materials, or services. If you work in a department called procurement and supply chain, you have a job in purchasing and logistics. Another way to explain procurement, you can think of it as the process of obtaining something. In a large corporation, you could be procuring products or services from third parties, from suppliers. You would often deal with suppliers or vendors. You'll have external stakeholders. So these are people outside of your organization. If you work in an engineering company, let's say a network engineering company, and you work in their procurement department, well, you might be in charge of procuring network parts. For example, hardware, physical parts like Cisco routers, switches, and so on. Make sense, amigos y amigas? Great. The next phrase I'd like you to learn is raising funds. How do you raise capital or funds as a business owner? So let's first see what the term raising capital means. The term raising capital means the act of obtaining funds or financing. You do this by approaching investors, people with money. They have money and are looking to invest in your business. So you are presenting them with your business plan, with your business idea, and they can invest in your business. The term raising capital refers to the act of obtaining money, materials, or supplies for the start, development, growth, or expansion of a business. That's when you would start looking for money or investment in your business. The word funds is just another word for money. You use funds for a specific purpose, to start a business. Or you can also raise funds or do fundraising. So that's one word, that's a noun, fundraising for a charitable organization. If you're a part of a, let's say, non-profit organization, you'd often be looking to raise funds somehow or ask people for donations. Okay, does that make sense so far, amigos y amigas? Great, let's move on to the next word or the next phrase. So this is the number 3 phrase I wanted to cover today. It's brainstorming ideas or researching ideas. What is brainstorming? The term brainstorming means the act of generating new ideas and creative concepts. For example, we need to do some brainstorming before we even consider that project. In a business setting, people organize meetings to have brainstorming sessions. So you just bounce ideas off one another, looking for the best solution or a best method to implement something. That's when you bounce ideas off your colleagues. Alrighty, I think we can wrap it up now. We're approaching the end of the show. Before we wrap up though, I've got another word I'd like to cover in today's episode. It's the word inkling. So Giovanna mentioned this word towards the end of our interview. Inkling. It's a funny word. It means a clue or a vague idea, suggestion or slight indication. So I'll give you a proper definition of this. According to Buen Inteligente or the online dictionary, the word inkling is a feeling that something is true or likely to happen, although you are not certain. Okay? Something is likely to happen, but you're not certain about it. So Giovanna used this word in the interview when she referred to her business mentor. She approached her business mentor to ask if he would be interested in training her on marketing automation. Then when she said that he replied to her, she described his reply like this. He was kind of thinking about it to offer coaching as a service because he had an inkling. Okay? In this case, it means almost like a pull towards his idea of coaching and training other people in this specific niche, which was marketing automation. So it's a funny word, but yes, people do use this word, and it's probably good for you to know it. And there we have it, boys and girls. I hope this episode was useful to you. In the next episode, we'll cover more phrases that will help you expand business vocabulary. And if you'd like to have access to the full transcript of the interview and of this episode as well, please visit englishmadesimple.net/transcript. Don't forget also, you're welcome to visit englishmadesimple.net/podcast anytime to continue listening to the rest of the episodes. It's been a pleasure and I hope you've learned something new today. If something wasn't clear, be sure to send me an email or send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Even though I don't post that often on social media, I do check my Insta feeds, so don't be shy to send me a message. You've been jamming with Milena from English Made Simple. Until next time, hasta la próxima!